Speak your mind.
Knight, do you have any news for me? Fantastic news. With that outpost secured, I feel a lot more secure. I'm glad we've managed to bolster our northern frontier.
This is that buffer zone you suggested.
That it is.
Good work. With this outpost secured, we can finally move on to the front foot. Knights, listen closely. Breathe, Percival.
Speak plainly, or at least with a verb.
Eastminster reports there's been an explosion at Charing Cross Station.
This could be a blessing. We can put their weariness to rest by helping out.
With Percival's anxiousness, there's more to the story, I'd wager.
Merlin is right. Eastminster's already fingered a culprit. Us.
Us? I didn't authorize a strike on Charing Cross.
They're saying they've already pinned down the two knights responsible.
I hate to ask more of you so soon, but I don't have anyone else I can spare. Will you look into it? Unfortunately, I do. But I won't sow dissent without evidence. That's a longer story than we've got time for today. Good to hear. Head out immediately.
Curious about Eastminster. It won't take but a second to understand the gist, and that might help you when your boots hit the ground there. Eastminster birthed Camelot just as much as we did. Our hearts and minds were one back then. But skip to ceaseless riots, and some brutal retaliation by the gentry, and quite a few blame us for their current state. Don't be surprised by a thin veneer covering hostility. Many there tolerate us at best.
Hail, Knight. Technically, yes, though in reality it was a merging of many like-minded groups. It was a necessary reaction to the gentry. They've earned their position through valor, bravery, and merit, each and every one. Our man of the ditch. I'd advise you to try him at his sport. I doubt you'll best him, but it'll sharpen you up. Merlin's been at my side for many years. Were it not for him, Camelot wouldn't exist. Percival is Camelot's eyes, ears, and mouthpiece. Without him, we are irrelevant. Bedivere is our strategist, a master logistician, invaluable. Our chief medical officer. She's indispensable, so don't bother her unless you're in need of medical attention. Dab hand with a blade. A soldier loyal. You'd do well to follow his lead. I'll tell you what I know. Fascists. Plain and simple. We share a common enemy, but they are not our friends. They're a disease that must be rooted out. Once upon a time, they were a serious force in London. And whilst that's not the case anymore, that doesn't mean they're not dangerous. A cornered animal will fight more desperately than one that is hunting. When the gentry don't want to get their hands dirty, that's when they send in the dogs. Frankly, nasty bastards. Avoid them if you can. You've seen them by now, surely. The snooty bastards that own anything worth anything in this city. The sooner they're removed, the sooner London can thrive. I was born in a village very far from here. Childbirth took my mother's life, and the scarcity that comes with isolation took my father's. I was 7 years old. The locals took care of me as best they could, but resources were tight. When a passing caravan came through the town, I snuck into one of the wagons. I still remember the look on the caravaner's face when he found me. Scared the shit out of him. He scared me, too. I'd never seen a ghoul before. His name was William Knight. He took pity on me. He turned my fear into love and my despair into hope. He showed me how to fight, the safe roads to take, the books to read, the people to trust, and warned me about those you couldn't. He had a saying from one of his books that always stuck with me. The ultimate hidden truth of the world is that it is something that we make, and could just as easily make differently. A great man. Without him, I wouldn't be alive, let alone where I am today. He goes by a different name these days. I suppose it is. But even in this smouldering wreckage of this place we call London, there is a sense that this was once a place of great importance. The golden age of humanity was built on the ideals supposedly held by the knights of old. Surely it's more silly to emulate those who destroyed civilization rather than those who built it. Farewell.